Welcome. We're back. Yes, we are. We're back with a vengeance. It's the Male Toxicity Show. No doubt, man. Say what's up. The panel's here tonight, baby. What's going on, guys?
Hey, yo.
What's up?
Bitches, we are back.
That's right, baby. No doubt. What's going on, John?
Hey, what can I say? You know, one of my famous jokes. What do you call a virgin on a waterbed?
What?
A cherry float.
What's going on, Craig? How you doing, my brother?
Well, I was good until I just heard that dad joke. and I literally mean that's a dad joke. You need to stop buying that book.
What's going on, Maze? The mighty Mazerus. What's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm interrupting Maze for a second. This is Alex Jones. Did you see the people at Area 51? They showed up today. Obviously, a false flag operation.
Oh, I see, Alex. And how many rifles got shoved up people's asses today?
Quite a few.
You know, I'm hearing different numbers and shit. The last number was like 150 people, but they're not showing anything really reliable. I see supposed pictures. It could just be people gathered somewhere in the fucking desert.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna talk about 150 military Area 51 enemies. Steph, what's going on? The big sis of the show, baby. How you doing?
Oh, we're doing good. Just hanging out. Had a good day with the horse. Just trying to get her back into shape. Doc took a bunch of pictures of her x-rays, and she's got arthritis in both of her hocks and her back legs, and an old hamstring injury. So,
oh, damn.
Well, no, she's fine. I mean, she's like, whatever. She hates me right now because I got to do stuff too. I've got some things to put in her eyes because she's got funky stuff coming out.
Yeah.
She's just, she looks like she's a mess and she's not.
Yeah, it's probably allergies, you know, the season's changing and stuff.
Well, he tried to flush them and he couldn't. I mean, it just wouldn't come out. So he said, well, here's what you do. Because the next step is an operation. And I looked at him and was like, I'm not spending that money for that.
Yeah.
And she will hate my guts forever if we do that.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
So I did that today, and I spent a good hour and a half, 2 hours with her, just working her, and she was so tired and she was done. She was standing with her head down going, you bitch, you bitch. I'm going, see, I finally got you. I finally got you to put your head down and admit you're normal, because she'd never let it go. She'd never let it go. When a year ago, I could take her out and work her for 3 hours straight. I get on her back and it'd be a wrestling match because she'd still want to go run. So
there is so much of this that we just you could take out of context and use.
Craig, stop.
Like if we were to appear in front of Congress, one of the damn Democratic representatives would play the audio of that without any context or anything else, and they would go, see?
Yeah, no, they would.
She's talking about working her out, and this and that. No, wait a minute, because that's what they did in Kansas.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, they whatever. But no, she'll be all right.
Yeah, well, me and Steph, and well, we were just talking about her horse, and we happen to have dogs. She has a dog and a fucking horse. That's right, guys. And well, just to let you know exactly why we went on a hiatus, your boy right here didn't know a goddamn thing about StreamYard until Sir Maze and, of course, the Star Wars dad. They just basically educated my ass. They learned me something on this bullshit here. And, well, here we are. So we won't fail you again. If you feel like we abandoned you, we're sorry. But
if you feel abandoned, go to your fucking safe space. That's all I'm saying.
Well, tell you right now, this is an unscripted return of the Male Toxicity Show. We have nothing written down. So I just want to start with the elephant in the fucking room. Spoiler alert. Okay? So if you don't want to hear what I'm about to say, don't listen. People on the panel, too fucking bad because you're part of the show. So you're going to have to listen. Rambo. Rambo was fucking awesome. If you don't want to hear what I have to say and no spoilers, if you don't want to hear it, then don't. Lost one. Thank you for joining. What's going on, brother? Welcome to the male toxicity show, where the show consists of nothing
You
but
can't
real
you
women
can't
and alphas.
you can't spoil a Rambo movie. Everybody knows what the fuck's going to happen already. That's why we go watch it.
It's how it happens, and I'll tell you right now, this movie, before we even get into on how it's just tearing the left apart like fucking wussies that they are. Let me tell you something. Rambo was fucking awesome. This movie it's part of the franchise. It deals with the PTSD that's going around still. Let me tell you something. I knew, and I've been talking about this for a long time, guys. You know this. I was telling you, watch Rambo, watch this shit trigger people. This is gonna be the movie. Yep. No matter what Sylvester Stallone does, it doesn't matter. They can't stop this man. You know why? Because he plays to us. He is one of us. He plays to the crowd. He gives us what we want.
I mean, that's what it boils down to. He's a dude.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Sylvester Stallone, God bless you. Thank you for this. And I'm gonna leave it at this. Rambo, that is not the last blood. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to spoil it, but this movie, this is like Home Alone on steroids, kid. This is fucking awesome. This shows every fucking Vietnam Green Beret tactic that an actual Vietnam vet would actually do. And this movie is fun. And let me tell you something. It doesn't show that he's invincible. It shows that he's vulnerable and invincible simply because of his tactics and the way, you know, listen, this new millennia and this new era of critics, they don't know shit about movies. You know, even the ones that are saying Rambo was good, their breakdowns, they don't understand. This is why if you look now, they're all reviewing Rambo 1, First Blood. They're reviewing 2, 3, now 4, and they all got it wrong. Okay? Rambo is a trained killing machine who has PTSD, and it was turned on simply because he was picked on and the problems that go on within his home country, which happens to each and every Vietnam vet or any veteran that comes home after war. What happens? The majority of Americans, we treat them like shit when they come home. So Rambo just happens to be the one where you fucked with the wrong one, you hit the switch, and that was it. In this movie, I would have done the same thing.
Well, isn't it about white slavery and human trafficking too? Well,
they tried to tie it with that stuff, right? Like this is the most interesting thing about this. They tried to tie with that, and it wasn't. This whole thing was about he went back to his father's ranch, his friend's mother and his friend's daughter. His friend, remember when his friend had his another friend of his when he came back home had died. Not the African American gentleman that he saw his mother and he handed her the picture that he died of Agent Orange. It was another one that he was speaking of with Colonel I forgot his name. Yeah, Troutman. There we go. Thank you. Yeah, with Colonel Troutman. Well, he took them in, and they were living with him. He was raising his daughter, whatever. Now she went back to go visit her father, who happened to be in Mexico, and her friend, who was a connect, who found her father. She basically was one of those gang members out there, one of them bad girls or whatever, and set her up. Now, so they set her up in a club. They slipped her a Mickey and shit like that, and then she turned into, So when he found out that she didn't come home, he went, confronted them, and he got beat the fuck up. He was out for like 4 days. Those 4 days, they turned her into a fucking heroin addict. Like, of course, what they would do to girls that they human traffic. And I tell you right now, man, the action. You will sit there and say, "Good for you, get him, Rambo, get him, John Jay." This movie is fucking great, man. This is part, and let me tell you something. If you didn't like the Rambo before this because of the violence, this is not for you. This movie is fucking great. And the one before it, and the one before that, and the one before that, and the one that started the whole fucking thing, this whole Rambo franchise. Let me tell you something. When this comes out on DVD, and yes, I'm gonna say it, laser fucking disc, because it still does exist. I'm going to binge watch this bitch.
I'm gonna see it. Watching Sylvester Stallone get abused. I mean, let me put it this way: Grace Randolph, we all know who she is. If you're on YouTube, you know who she is. Big mouth, teeny tiny bitch blonde. Yeah, you are, Grace. If you watch us, bite me. Said some really shitty things about it being misogynist and racist and too violent. She's big goddamn, SJW. She's probably a furry too. Anyway, she. Anyway, I went up on her and I was nice. I wasn't mean. I didn't call her any names. I just said, Grace, what you said about this movie was ugly. She blocked me. She's blocking everybody who goes off on her.
Wait,
for any reason.
Grace Randolph did a woke review on Rambo?
Yeah, and then she's blocking people now.
I knew the bitch was funny. I mean, she's funny. She was funny from the start. I don't watch that bitch. Grace, fuck you too. That's right. Jake Cotto, Jay Wendell, Baba Yaga, and so on and so forth said it. Fuck you too. Fuck Jeremy. Fuck all you guys. Anyway.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm starting to look at all the tweets of people with their, she blocked me. I mean, like, over a goddamn movie? Because,
that's ridiculous.
You know what? I mean, and you know what she's doing? She's doing, please pick me to go on the red carpet and go to see this next movie. That's what she's doing. She don't give a shit if the movie was misogynistic or not. And that's the thing that pisses me off because she's a goddamn phony.
Yep.
All right. And it just, you know what? Grace, someday I'm going to see you face to face. I'm going to tell you what I think. All right? Because you aren't a woman. All right? Because if you can look at a movie like that, the way Jay described it, and say there's something misogynistic or racist about it, that's what happens every goddamn day on the border. Every goddamn day.
Well, I want to talk to the fucking guys. And when I say guys, I'm talking about the guys that don't really give a fuck right now. And that's Craig 316 and fucking Star Wars Dad. I want to talk to you two for a minute because, of course, the all-American Craig 316 and, of course, the veteran himself, the Star Wars Dad. I want to start off with the Star Wars Dad first. I want to ask you this question and then transition it down to Craig. Right. What does, as a vet, as yourself, what does Rambo actually symbolize what the military stands for, and do you think they should really back this movie up whenever these movies that present PTSD the way it is, because that can happen. You turn the switch on a motherfucker. I seen it myself with my father. My father had PTSD and he got hit with Agent Orange. My father was all that in Vietnam. Like, do you recommend this movie? Like, do you agree with Rambo, the character himself?
Rambo represents the very, very best and the very, very worst of what can come out of the military. PTSD, I'll suffer with it for the rest of my life. Anyone that's ever been deployed and been shot at, man, you're going to have PTSD and you're going to suffer with it for the rest of your life. It's a part of life. Let's face it, it's a part of life. And if you've seen any worse than just being shot at, it can get much, much, much worse. But do I support this movie? You're damn right I support this movie.
Hoorah.
And, why do I support this movie? Man, anything that we can... The 80s, the 70s, and the 80s were the most magical time of movies, period, man. We had men. I mean, we had masculine men doing movies. We had Conan the fucking Barbarian, We had Arnold Schwarzenegger playing other roles. We had Rock. I mean, we had real men playing real manly roles. Now we've got little emo bitches like Kylo Ren, dude.
Yep.
And
Craig, transitioning to you now, the same question.
Can you repeat the question, please?
The question is like do you agree with Rambo and how he represents, and this movie how it represents soldiers with PTSD, and how does Rambo fall into your life?
Can you use that in a sentence, please?
Bottom line, do you agree with Rambo?
Anyway, all right. So I have multiple friends. And my business partner is military. Matter of fact, my best friend that got killed in a boating accident last year, his son has PTSD. And holy shit. All right. I have PTSD from bad marriages, and that's bad. But my God, the shit that boy goes through is goddamn insane. It makes you feel bad, and there's nothing that you can really do about it. I mean, it's nothing physically. There's nothing I can do about it. I mean, I can cry, but I mean, came back. Matt came back a completely different person than he was when he left, and I mean, he's forever going to be fucked up. Yeah. And I do really mean forever going to be fucked up. He's not like just like every now and then. I mean, it's bad.
Yeah, things trigger it, sounds or something. It just shit, and they start flipping out. My father would he had that from Vietnam. He would get flashbacks, and those I had to hide under the bed and shit because let's just say I looked like a Vietnamese to him or whatever. He could have choked me out, or something like that. And our whole family had to leave the house whenever he had a flashback, and we had to wait until he fucking and it was like the house was damaged. Every time we went in, the house was damaged. You know what I mean?
I'll get a call at 3:00 in the morning, and he's sitting there crying on the other end of the phone. He doesn't remember doing it or anything else, but I mean, he's sitting there choking his wife right next to him until finally she snaps him out of it.
Yeah.
And I mean, he doesn't know. I mean, he didn't know he's doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
shit is real. Shit is real. Steph?
So he calls me on the phone and he's crying, he's doing this, he's doing it. And I mean, there's really nothing I can do. I mean, I really can't do anything except for talk to him.
There isn't. All right. I was, my husband retired after 30 years in the Marine Corps, and he saw action in the Gulf War. He doesn't have PTSD, thank God. He was an artillery officer, and he was if you look at the Gulf War, where the Marines were staged, right at Kuwait, that's where he was. Then there was a group of Marines that were off the coast because they wanted to fool Saddam into thinking the invasion had come from the sea. It didn't. The Marines started, and then they pulled. The Army did that big end around him.
Right.
But when you think about what they saw after, the oil fields on fire. I mean, dead Iraqis. It just one thing, after another. You'd be sitting there and you'd be watching the B-52s lighting up Iraq with arc light raids, and that I'm not kidding you. If you think about what that looks like, that's really beyond impressive. That's a lot of ordnance going down in one spot.
Yeah.
But my thing is, the boys, when they come back from Afghanistan or Iraq, you get a lot of, they're and the thing about the military, the Marines, is they do offer a lot of assistance to the families and the boys to cope. Yeah. And actually, they have to take advantage of it, and it does work. But they have to take advantage of it. And there were guys that would just have to leave, I saw marriages get broken up because came back broken, drinking too much, and it was just impossible, Yeah. But and it was tough for commands when you get a guy who's not, he's a young sergeant.
Yeah.
And he's just not doing his job.
Yeah.
Because he can't cope.
Yeah, a lot of soldiers especially from the Vietnam War, man, they came back shooting up heroin and stuff, simply because out there in the poppy fields and shit, you know what I mean, in order to numb the pain. And some of them did it to forget about the organs and all the insides that would, that would fucking land up on them, that were one of their units and shit, their unit partners and shit, simply because they stepped on a landmine and stuff, and there's so many levels as to, wars that have gone on over, political shit. But, let's get off this album mode. But I'm just, everybody, you need to watch Rambo. Rambo's the shit. It's a great movie. Fuck all these critics. They don't know shit about the movies. Now, Maze, Craig, Steph, and fucking John, let's talk about women with big ass feet.
Jesus Christ.
Today,
they make more money taking pictures of them than women with small feet.
Yeah.
but I don't understand this shit, man. Listen, they can get our men with big feet, right? Oh, he got big feet. Oh, he can sleep standing up. Yeah, what about you, bitch? You can't
You ever see that episode of King of the
fucking
Hill?
orthopedic, specially made fucking Milano stilettos and shit. You know what I'm saying? Milano Balatics with fucking bunion catchers and shit. Like, dude, I saw a woman today with the biggest feet. Okay, her feet were fucking huge, man. I'm talking about like Shaquille O'Neal huge.
When I go to the shoe store to buy a pair of shoes, I wear 6.5 or 7, right? It goes in between. You go there and they're size 10 female.
This chick was 11 at least, man. I mean, you can have your feet done with nice nails. You stay big feet, they don't look proper. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm like, I could put that on my horse and she'd actually be comfortable.
Oh,
I mean, and you gotta feel sorry for the girls because, lots of times women with big feet are tiny. They're little. I mean, they're smaller than I'm. It's like, holy shit, you're R2D2.
You're a hobbit.
Just kind of, yeah. It's like,
like her foot looked like, you ever saw American Werewolf in London? That part of John Landis where her foot was elongating and shit. His foot, he's like, oh, and his foot, it looked just like that. It looked crazy, and I didn't understand this. And this bitch, she was type tall. She was at least like 5'9", 5'10". Dude,
she's a big girl. She's a tall girl.
Man, big ass feet. And I wear a size 12, and I can fit snug into a 13 if you let me, right? I think she would have rocked my sneakers in perfect.
Oh yeah. It's like when you go to the store and you're looking at those boat shoes. And I call them boat shoes because that's what they look like. It's like, who the hell wears these? Because I can't see it. My sister Rose is 5'10" and she wears size 8s. That's as big as I've ever seen in my family. Right. And that's fine. She's 5'10". Right. She's a tall girl. Right. But it's like, Jesus. My dad wore size 12. He was a big, my brothers are all big. So
are any of you guys fans of Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. Skyler, the wife of, the main character there. I'm telling you, that woman has got some nasty damn feet, dude.
How do you know this? How? Tell us.
Look at her in that damn show. Her feet are like deformed and shit. They're nasty. I mean, dude, come on.
So you're saying she needs a foot double?
Yeah.
Foot double.
God.
Well, look at Uma Thurman. Uma Thurman shows her feet, her bare ass feet in every movie.
She looked like a feasting.
I'm telling you.
I can't even fit the size of her feet inside the damn screen right here. That's how big them bitches are.
Without going into extreme detail, there's a reason why in some adult films the woman's feet are put just out of the frame. It's on purpose. You may not notice it, but look again.
No, I don't. I'm good. I don't watch porn to see feet, so I'm not John. So
I don't either, but I'm like John.
I just go for the regular, straight, kind of, porn that normal people watch.
Yeah, the animal porn. He likes that.
I'm not all up into the stuff that I shared with y'all before.
The wombats and the badgers going at it.
Dude,
the baseball bat. Oh no, I ain't all up into it.
I have seen the donkey show in Mexico, and it is the nastiest thing I've ever seen in my life. Right?
How did that go down?
How do we get to the donkey show in Mexico?
Turn away from it. You're like, I don't want to be watching this, but you're like, oh my God, it's that bad. What's going to do?
I think the donkey can do better.
That bad.
Oh my God, that's so gross.
I think the donkey could do better. I honestly do.
Jay, I was saying there is an episode of King of the Hill called Peggy's Sexy Magic Feet, where it's pointed out that she's got feet just as big as her husband's, and then she gets called up by some talent scout, and they start taking pictures of her for porno sites.
Oh God,
that shit happens.
Yep, I tell you right now, guys. I'll tell you right now, you're going to hear the most weirdest shit here because we are all alphas. We're all thinking out loud. That's right. And you're going to hear it. This is an unscripted show, and I'm just putting it out there. Warning, warning. There are mature adult content you will hear. Sometimes your eardrum will bleed. Sometimes your ass will. It's up to you.
My ears are bleeding right now over the donkey thing. Jesus Christ!
How did we
Steph,
get to the donkey
yeah, you
show?
should have been there, girl. You should have been there. We've all seen it. You should have been there.
I haven't, and I don't want to. Okay.
Oh my God.
There was
The best thing you can do is either go watch it or just rent Clerks 2.
Yeah, if you've seen Clerks 2, you have an idea.
Yeah.
Without actually seeing
Smith, it. So I can't stand Kevin Smith, so I just know that. No.
Well, it's better than looking at women's feet, but I do know someone who she makes her living selling pictures of her feet on her Instagram page.
That's crazy.
No.
Look on John's face.
Some Japanese businessmen pay good money for pictures of her feet.
John.
John just got called out. That's what it is. John just got called out. Yeah. It ain't just two fingers in the butthole for John anymore. And now we know that he's a prick.
John, we didn't know that about you.
Yeah.
My kryptonite. I'm sorry, but yeah, feet are definitely my damn kryptonite.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, fucking
Yeah.
So guys, man, how do you feel about fucking they're trying to these
So
fucking these wet in the ass sons of bitches. They're trying to change the dictionary now. They're coming for the dictionary. And what I mean by that is, they want to start changing words in the dictionary, and I think this all comes from this I don't know what the fuck to call it anymore, but let's just say if there's females and there's males that together in a
pronouns.
Group, you can't gender pronoun. You can't say, hey guys, is that what they're calling it now? I mean, because I know it's always been pronouns, but is this what they're calling it? Gender pronoun?
Gender.
All right. Let me take this for a second because Craig can back me up on this. I love someone to come into my town or Craig's town and try to start to pull that shit, right?
Right.
I mean, every damn redneck in the woods around here and in Craig's town would be like, what the fuck?
Them bitches, we don't play that shit.
Yeah.
No, you can't. I mean, even here in Carlisle, it's like, this is a bunch of, what is this? A bunch of military retirees that went to the war college students who sneak into the gun shop to look around at all the cool shit and then run back to school pretending they don't really like it, which is hilarious. It's really weird, but the pronoun shit, it stays over on the campus and it doesn't bleed over because everyone's like, what? You're a guy, fucking quit it. Okay. I mean, but this is pencil talking. So,
well,
it's retarded. It's like you can't even say, hey guys, even if there's a group of girls with the guy, your friends and shit. Because you're always gonna have some dick. I'm waiting for someone to say, you're not supposed to say that. I said, and who the fuck are you? Where's your badge? And even if you have a badge, could you please fucking describe your line of work in life to fucking correct me?
Right now, I know the cure for Antifa.
Sweet Meteor of Death?
Nope, it's called John, Craig, and Jay.
Throw my husband into that, and he'd be like, cool.
Because I would, they won't go to Craig's town and pull that crap. They won't come to my town and pull that crap. They'll go to these little pussy ass little towns like Portland, where everybody's, got a damn dildo shoved up their damn ass, where they're not afraid to talk.
Where everybody's gay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Portland is where the hippies who couldn't make it in California went. That's true.
Man.
Remember,
and let's talk about California. I mean, before they used to be a bunch of fucking, and no offense to anyone that that we're cool with that lives in California. We're talking about,
fuck that. Offense to everyone that takes offense to the shit. If you live in California, fuck that. I ain't apologizing for a whole goddamn state that needs to secede from the goddamn union. You know what? If you want to fucking leave the United States, goddamn California, fucking go. Take your and urine-filled fucking cities with all your Democrats and your fucking 1,500 square foot, $2.5 million fucking home and shove it straight up your fucking Democratic fucking ass. Oh, and right after you do that, scrape that poop up off the street.
Yep. Yeah.
Well,
you know, I just wanted to say, guys, I just want to say one question. How in the highest fuck do you actually have workers that while they sleep come over at night and fucking power wash shit off the streets and everything?
Well, I don't know, when the EPA fines San Francisco for that, I mean, the mayor of San Francisco is going, we have a filter system, so none of that gets into the water. Bullshit.
For Christ's sake, they got leprosy. They've got leprosy going around there.
That's what I was about to say. They now have leprosy in the streets of LA now. Fucking leprosy.
Yeah.
You're going back to Cali, all right?
And it's time to tell people that we like, you got to get the fuck out of there.
Leprosy,
I've got friends.
There could possibly be bubonic plague there too.
Well, yeah, because the rats are just like partying like rock stars.
Oh yeah. These motherfuckers will snatch a slice of pizza out your hand if you let them.
Yeah, and they're as big as dogs.
Yeah.
I mean, I just, when the EPA finds San Francisco and they're whining about what it was found in the water, I'm going to laugh my ass off. And they need to do it to LA too. LA and Hollywood need a big fucking comeuppance. You can't have the Hollywood Walk of Fame around the block from the biggest homeless encampment in the United States.
The shit that got me, guys, I'm sitting back and I'm like, how the fuck are they power washing shit? It's that bad that they gotta hire the city workers. Now there's a new fucking department within the city that just specializing that goes around, and what are they gonna call themselves? The shit scrapers? I mean, what the fuck is going on here?
Well, goddamn, Jay, that takes care of the fucking problem. There you go. The problem's done.
It goes into the
power
water.
washing.
Solve the problem. We just want to wipe it to the side.
Yeah.
I can't. I mean, think of the hepatitis going around.
They've got typhus.
Power washing human shit probably just spreads the shit further across the sidewalk like butter on too much bread.
Exactly. And Trump said, I'm going to have the EPA investigate, and there's probably going to be a hefty fine. They're not going to, I mean, if I was the president of the United States, I would make damn sure they don't get a goddamn dime, and he's doing that right now because they are not doing their civic duty to protect their citizens. They're not.
Well, I look at it like this, though. This homeless problem that's going on, you see it in California, you see it in Oregon, you see it in Washington, you see it in New York City, but you don't see these problems in red states.
Nope, because civilization.
Yeah.
And not only that, you know, it's been shown that the corrupt to the left, and they're all about their own pockets, and of course they're gonna have alpacas in their offices and in their homes and in their children's homes and shit like that. But what about the city streets? I mean, look what's happening to Elijah Cummings. He's been exposed. Trump just said blah, and look what happened now.
Yeah.
Well, it's every time they go after him, they expose themselves more because here's the deal. This is about the president. He spent 50 years hanging out with those people. He knows everything about them. He didn't drink with them. He didn't smoke pot with them. He didn't do anything. He saw them doing that. And he categorized it and cataloged it all in his mind. So now they're all pissed because they're afraid he's going to expose them. And he is. He is. He knows what they are. You know?
Right.
And they know it.
Sir.
How do you feel about this shit?
I have a lot of friends that live in California, and it's they live all the way from LA, all the way up to San Diego, San Francisco, blah blah blah, and Every city is like that. Smells like piss and shit. Every one of them.
Yep. Even poor San Diego, and San Diego's beautiful.
Yes.
You know?
It's ridiculous. A matter of fact, I mean, Taylor decided, fuck it, she's leaving.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that bad. She's just like, I mean, I've grown, I've been here my entire life, but I've got to leave. This is ridiculous.
I've got good friends on the political side that live there, friends connected to them. I've got friends in Hollywood. One left, and he's basically building a whole new movie industry in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. You know, everything's leaving because of this shit. The taxes, the just the bullshit in general, the obnoxious leftist behavior. Okay, you know they're doing it to themselves. It's going to be nothing but billionaires and homeless people. There's not going to be a middle class to support it. And that's going
to be the epitome of that saying: the rich get rich and the poor get poor. And you're actually going to see the fucking divide. You know, the line over there.
Yeah.
We're going to be shit and piss in the slums, and then you're going to see these fucking $1 million houses and stores and shit. And I just don't get it. Like you know,
that's what they want.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. You know, and it is what it is. That's why the 80s, and we're going to go into the 80s because that was a time where we didn't have any of this shit. As a matter of fact, the 80s is a prime example of how we should be living today. Yep. That's right. I said it. That's right.
Without the hairstyles.
Yeah. I mean, you can have all the gel and hairspray and all that Aquanet you fucking want. But I'm just saying, in the 80s, we didn't have not one fucking problem. You know what I mean? Because
we didn't have those. We had actual real problems.
Real fucking problems. You know what I mean?
And we didn't, you know, even the Democrats in California didn't go as far as they've gone. You know?
Let's see, what was I scared of as a kid in the 80s? Nuclear war.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody fucking was, especially that fucking movie, Wargames. Shall we play a game? Remember that shit?
Yeah.
Matthew Broderick. I was scared to death because I was like, holy shit! Suppose one computer goes crazy and starts fucking just blowing off every fucking nuke to every country that has nukes, and holy shit, you know, and that shit was crazy. The game Risk was one where I thought you had to play in order to sharpen your strategics in case of a nuclear war or something, or a takeover. You know, I always thought games like Battleship and shit like that and Connect 4 were always like fucking army fucking drills and shit that they were just sending to us kids and shit so we could just exercise our brain and prepare for the fucking shit that's coming.
Well, we need to fix this great land of ours.
That's right, Prez.
Yep.
You tell him, Regan.
Yep. Yeah. You know, it's funny. I think about the 80s and stuff, and we had Barbara Streisand was being a bitch about Reagan and all this shit, but they were contained. People like her were contained. There was common sense there.
Yeah.
And now it's like this insanity.
The internet changed it all.
Well, the problem now, you've got too many what I call keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
You know, people that can sit behind their keyboard and bitch all day long instead of being a man and woman and standing up. And, you know, if I don't like someone, I'm going to tell them flat out to their face, I don't like you.
Sorry.
Now these people, they'll get on their phone, get on Twitter. Okay, we need to cancel this person now. You know, make sure, you know, he's fired and he's never going to work again, et cetera. This, you know,
because of an opinion.
Yeah.
And I just want to say this coming from every alpha, and you guys are going to stand by what I say if you come from my era. I just want to say to each and every fucking, and I'm going to take my glasses off for this one, to every nerd out there that went to school with us and we thought you were uncool and whiny and bitchy, and we are very sorry. You guys are men compared to the bitches that are growing up today, Jack.
Oh, yeah.
Our nerds were fucking hard. At least they threw punches. They didn't fucking write a letter.
And
that's right, guys. You fucking rock.
And a lot of our nerds from our era went on to become fucking computer programmers and have a goddamn Lamborghini today.
Yes.
That's
and a
right.
mansion.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. And they'll smack you in your face. So nerds from the 80s and our era and the 70s, we're sorry. We're very sorry that we even tested your manhood. You have proven to the time has shown us that you stand with us. Second tier to us, but you stand with us. Definitely.
Sorry, I'm yawning. Yeah, it's really sad. I mean, it's just, but there's a lot of problems. I mean, there are the attacks on the traditional family, attacks on traditional masculinity, these girls who are out of control because their mothers are out of control. Why should I take responsibility for my shitty behavior when I can just blame the guy that fucked me? Think about it.
Well, I got something to say here, and this is, I think every last one of us in this panel here can agree with me. And AOC, I hope you watch this video one day because I'm speaking directly to you. When you talked about this new generation is the greatest generation of people that have ever walked in America, you can kiss my royal red ass. The greatest generation of Americans were the men and women that laid down their lives in World War II.
That's right.
They knew suffering, and they did it out of selfishness for this damn country. We have a free fucking country now because people have been willing to lay their damn life down so that other people don't fucking have to.
Yep.
And these fucking keyboard warriors, saying that they're the greatest people in the world now, you can kiss my ass.
My parents. There you go. Who the hell do you think taught me how to be the way I am? Yep. They did. So John's right. If I can find a picture of my dad in uniform, I will. I know I have one here somewhere. This is such a mess, but we'll find it.
My Sicilian grandfather rolling into Berlin on top of a Sherman tank.
My dad's in this picture.
Awesome.
U.S. Army Air Force, 8th Air Force. And he's in this picture too somewhere. So to you fucking millennials who think you're special, you can kiss my tight white German ass.
That's what I'm saying. And see, we're Scottish. My dad's dad was what I call a man of men because he served in 3 different armies. He started off in the Scottish Army. Then he served in the Canadian Royal Army before serving in the U.S. Army and retiring as a master sergeant out of the damn U.S. Army. 3 damn militaries.
No.
Wow.
Here's a picture of my dad, and we went to World War II days at Reading, and they're selling a replica of that T-shirt, and I've got one.
Wow.
That's him and my oldest brother. So there you go. I don't appreciate people saying that about my family because that's what they're talking about when they say shit like that.
Yeah, and meanwhile, these motherfuckers are fucking their brothers and their uncles and marrying them and shit and trying to take over, and take fucking advantage of our fucking system that we have here that was really meant for the Americans that are fucking, going through hardships and hard times. And these fucking idiots, because their whole schmeal is all on dependency. They want you to depend on them. This is exactly why. So the fucking women of America have grown to that shit. They've latched on to that shit, and this is why there's a household where there's hardly no men who are fucking, because they're well taken care of at certain points. Of course, there's other situations why people are not together. Yes, I understand, but systematically, statistically speaking, what's going on now. This is why, and these guys have no fucking topics whatsoever as to why you should vote for them. No topic. They're standing for shit, which is basically what Calais is.
There's nothing. It's funny is that all the problems that people have complained about that the GOP has actually said we're going to do something about never did. They just said they do it and to get elected, and then they enable Democrats. Are getting fixed. The wall's being built. corrupt politicians are being called out. Shit's happening. Stuff that we wanted to have happen. And the establishment politicians the never Trumpers and the Democrats are crapping themselves. And their little voters who have no fucking idea that they've been used and abused and trolled for decades are losing their shit because somehow they think the world is bad. Unemployment is almost nil. There are more jobs available than there are workers. We're finally getting a handle on other issues. We're calling out Iran. And think about all the stuff that's going on. The world is bad. I have nothing. What do you don't have? What do I mean? You weigh 300 pounds. You eat enough. That's my opinion. You feel bad because some fat bitch lost an election? Fuck you, bitch.
Well, look at it like this.
That's what this is about.
You know what?
The one person out of all of us that probably has it worst is Maze. Maze is the closest living one out of all of us that lives close to what I call Little Mogadishu.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've been there, actually. Going to the Mall of America is like...
Yeah.
I haven't been in probably 7 years. I took my son when he came up here one year, and this was before all that started. And I didn't know about it. The other day I saw that video.
Yeah.
All I can say is the world's going by me most of the time because I stay the fuck inside unless I'm working on my car.
Yeah.
I mean, in a town like this, would you go outside very often?
No, not at all.
I mean, I'm not a mole on purpose, but I mean, I certainly go get my meds and my groceries, but I'm just worried I'm going to bump into somebody who just, like total accident, like, oh, I'm sorry, miss. You're a blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
She takes a picture of me and puts it on YouTube.
Yeah, that's exactly what they'll do. I mean, it's just, last time I was in Minneapolis, I went to go meet my friend Stacy. I stayed outside the airport. There's a really nice hotel there. And we wanted to go visit. It was after Vince Flynn, the novelist, died. He was 47 years old, died of prostate cancer. It was horrible, very heartbreaking. I got to meet him in 2010, and literally one of the coolest human beings I've ever met in my life. And his brother and I are good friends. And Stacy and I couldn't find where they buried him. We're like, what the hell? I discovered he was put into a mausoleum. So I went to go look. The next day, I walked into the mausoleum instead of walking out and around. Never do that. I literally had every nightmare and horror moment I've ever had in my life. It was awful. It was dark. It stunk. I ran through there screaming my head off, emerged on the other side to realize there's the niche he was put in. Damn it. And I know he was laughing his ass off the whole time because that's the way he was. But I didn't really see any of that stuff because we were outside, where the airport is. And there's a big Catholic cemetery, right? There's where we were.
Target Field's here, right?
Yeah.
There's a video out there of this guy just waiting for the bus the other day. And this gang of dudes comes up and just beats the shit out of him. It was racially motivated.
That. Yeah.
Nobody did anything to stop it, and there were bystanders there. I will say the area is beautiful geologically.
It is.
All the lakes and shit. The fact that the Mississippi passes through both downtowns, Minneapolis and St. Paul.
Right.
It's a good. It's a fun thing to go do on a Sunday if you've never been to any of the sites. But I mean,
and
politically, it's all changing.
Yeah, I hope for the better, man. I just want to let you guys know that we're chalking up a little Halloween special since Halloween is coming up, and we still have a lot of things to go over. But we're chalking up a little special for you guys. We're putting it together. So tell a friend who's another fucking alpha to tell another alpha. And to tell all the rest of the fucking alphas, and the real women.
Oh, hell yeah.
We're going to have a nice, or close to Halloween, because I'm not sure if, we'll if we'll be doing anything, you know, as to personally in our lives, but we're gonna have a nice little program for you guys. Just wanted to put that out there. You
I'm
know,
gonna decorate the front of the house, so if I get it done the way I want, I'll show you guys.
yeah, that'll be great, man. You know, yeah, if we decorate our house, you know, we'll give you the walkthrough or whatever, definitely. But just want to say, let's talk about Disney losing some fucking money here on lying. Like, what's this shit? Wait a minute, hold on. They have an insider who just fucking let everybody know that Disney has been, or should I say, Disney has been lying on their bread. That's right, folks. Disney has been lying all these years. So that means that Star Wars possibly didn't make what they made, and every other blockbuster out there that's supposedly a blockbuster.
Yeah.
And Craig, do you know anything about this shit?
What we called this shit a long time ago. Well, I mean, just honestly, we called this a long time ago. Def can go right along with it. She's seen the same financial statements that I've seen. Shit don't add up.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't. I mean,
When it
you
comes to
know,
running the business, we call this fuzzy math. And fuzzy math doesn't go over well.
it
But
is.
Disney's in a damn spot right now. And I love it. I mean, I fucking hate it because it's killing my stock. But I mean, I love it because they own a third of everything in the fucking world.
Yep.
Yep.
How can you possibly fail owning a third of everything in the world? Well, you're never going to. You're never going to fail. And the reason you're not is because you're too big to fail.
They can't fail. If horror, I mean, the world would end if Disney failed. You know,
Yep.
if Disney just went back to being Disney.
Well,
No.
they are imploding from the inside out right now.
Well,
Yeah.
And first and foremost, most of y'all were on the show that I did, 2 weeks ago, breaking down how Disney stock works and what's going on with it right now. But the big thing, the one that's tanked everything right now is Bob Iger. Bob Iger has been the worst damn thing that's happened to Disney. People thought he was, savior when it came to Disney. But what was it? I looked it up a few minutes ago. Disney in the past 2 days since the SEC has started investigating Disney now, stock has dropped 5 points in 2 days.
Wow.
Just from the initial investigation.
Here,
And
wait until they get to the finding.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And well, like I was telling everyone, a bad movie, 2 bad movies, 3 bad movies, it's not going to do anything to Disney stock. Just because, you have a few failed movies, it's not going to do anything to their stock at all. They've got more money than, we could possibly think of. They have enough resources at their disposal to, have 50 failed movies that they spend $1 billion on to make, and it's still not going to move their stock. What killed their stock, though, was Apple announcing they're having a streaming service now that's going to be less expensive than Disney's. This SEC investigation. But Lucasfilm is putting a drag on their stock. If they would lose Lucasfilm, their stock would shoot back through the roof again. But Lucasfilm is very, 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 very much in the red for Disney right now. The financial records are showing they are actually almost $10 billion in the hole with Lucasfilm.
I thought it was only 5. Holy shit!
No, it's like $10 billion.
All right, and they're $35 billion in debt with just buying Fox.
Yes.
See, I don't see how it works then anymore. They have a lot of money. Where is it? Well, you're $45 billion in debt.
If you look at the financial statements, that's just it. They don't have a lot of money.
Right.
All right. So you have to look at available cash. Available cash is how you evaluate a company.
Yeah.
They can own so much stuff. It's unbelievable. They can produce such a great product. It's unbelievable. But when you look at everything that's broken down and you see available cash, this is where you're going to get your valuation.
Yeah, they don't have shit for
Disney
available cash.
doesn't have. Disney has exactly 1/10 of the available cash that they had 2 years ago.
Before Fox.
Yeah.
Hey,
well,
John.
something you got to realize too. Every quarter, losses you can actually push to the next quarter.
Yeah.
So
of course.
let's say this is the second quarter and you've had a major loss. You can record half of that loss for the quarter that you in, and then you can push the other half of that loss to the next quarter.
Oh, the FC. Someone's going to jail for this shit. You know, John, bring up the thing you told us about that offer.
Okay.
This is the thing that just...
I've wanted to do a show about this until I actually had it confirmed. But from what I'm hearing, Universal Studios and Paramount have teamed up, and they went to George Lucas himself first, and they want to actually buy Lucasfilm from Disney. And they made an offer to Disney to buy Lucasfilm. And they actually offered George Lucas 35% on any bit of rights that he might possibly want from it. And George Lucas was like, yeah, this sounds good. You're going to treat my baby all right. And Bob Iger turned them down flat. Turned them down flat. Well,
hey, in for a penny, in for a pound, dude.
Yeah.
Galaxy's Edge cost them so much fucking money. Especially when they built it twice in California. Because, half of it they had to tear down.
Yeah.
Because of construction permit. And then rebuild. And then when it flopped. And then Orlando opened. And it's so damn different.
I wonder if they're planning on doing Galaxy's Edge at like the Paris park or the Tokyo park, because those parks make them big money overseas.
Make them very big money overseas.
What'd you say, Craig?
I would imagine not now. I would say if you open 2 of them bitches and they both suck, don't open a third.
Here's my thing is I found it interesting when John said that there was a revolt against Iger because of that, saying no.
I've got a list right here. There's 3 people, 3 big ones. You got Christine McCarthy.
Yep.
She's actually the chief financial officer of Disney. You've got Alan Braverman. He's the senior VP of Disney. Then you've got this guy, Robert. I can't pronounce his last name because it's like...
how's it spelled?
Mattsulateoli.
Okay, I'll tell you about it.
Yeah.
I bet you I could pronounce it.
Who gives a fuck?
But he is the largest shareholder that Disney has. He's the guy that sits on the board of directors for shareholders. And all 3 of them are trying to oust Bob Iger right now from Disney. They're trying to pull a cue against him and getting the hell out of there because especially this Robert guy, being the largest shareholder, he's screaming his head off right now. Like, what the hell are y'all doing? He's the biggest guy screaming about this wokeness coming from Disney, especially with Marvel. He was screaming about Star Wars, but he's really screaming about Marvel right now. So, there's lots of infighting going on inside the company right now. It's not just little; it's huge infighting.
Well, I've got a friend, and one of these days we're going to have him on here. We'll do a different show. His name is Dan Watanabe. He's a film historian, teaches film. He did a lot of stuff in Hollywood. He worked, he knows what he's talking about. And he thinks, Dan, if you're listening, you shout out. He thinks that George Lucas is trying to set it up so Fox and him can take back Lucasfilm.
Because
because Lucas owns a lot of shares in Fox.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. Okay. And if Lucas is teaming up with Paramount and Universal, that's very interesting to me. George Lucas is not an idiot. They've always thought he was an idiot, but he's not. And he's always proven people he's 20 steps ahead of everybody else. And here he's doing it again. I would say in a year, Bob Iger's not at Disney. And I would say Kathleen Kennedy's with him.
Like I told you, all the stipulations that they had laid down to Bob Iger, the first one that they laid down, I loved, because the first stipulation was you will cease and desist anything anything Star Wars once it's bought. And then you will basically come out and say that episodes like 7, 8, and 9 never happened, and anything else that you ever put out never happened. Which Disney will never do. We know that.
I think what they're doing is they're trying to put him into a rough spot. Mm. That and they know. Here's the deal about negotiations. You say that to somebody to put them in a spot. You might not even actually really want that, but you're trying to get concessions.
Yeah,
which is exactly what they're doing. And I'm like, Bob, you fucked up. Why don't you just give it all up? Okay, let it go. My favorite part of this was when you said they wanted to buy out Kennedy's contract instead of packing.
Yep.
I mean, and then there's this. Disney told Rian Johnson not to talk anymore about his trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, Ryan? Really?
Oh, you mean his 3-part cartoon?
Yeah. Which is he's not even getting that. I swear to God, the guy either is too stupid to understand what I know he's been told that he's not getting it. But I also think that Kennedy goes back and says, well, I'm trying really hard. So just hold on, Ryan. I also think he's also trolling people when he says that.
Well, I think this dude, Rian Johnson, is probably the biggest narcissist we've ever seen in our entire life. I do believe this man thinks not just the Earth and our solar system, but the entire galaxy revolves around him. I think that's how this man thinks.
Yep, I do think that too. And I think him meeting Kathy Kennedy was probably the best boost for his teeny tiny fragile little ego that he could ever have.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fucking, Rian Johnson is just one of those guys that just had nothing and they put something in his hand and he just fucked it up. And I just hope that Lucas somehow, if not Lucas, someone takes this shit off of Disney's fucking hands, because it's beyond painful. People have lost a lot, and when I say a lot, I'm not just talking money, stocks, shares. No, I'm talking reputations and friendships and relationships and just basically the whole idea of respecting a person for their ideas and creativity. All that shit's out the fucking window.
I'll be the first one to admit, Jay, I literally grieved for a year after The Last Jedi. I grieved for a year. It was that bad.
Yeah.
I was grieving for 2 years.
Look at any feet pics or anything else to make you feel better, or?
Well, all I can say about Rian Johnson is I hope that giving KK all those rim jobs in her office was worth it.
Well,
her giving him rim jobs.
I'll bet you Mark Hamill wishes he could have 5 minutes alone in a room with that man.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and I think he probably liked to yell back at her after she called him. In fact, I don't remember when this phone call supposedly said, but she called him screaming that he was killing the box office for TLJ. And he's like, it's okay. So then he went to Bob Iger and said, tell her to leave me alone or I'm done.
He is so important to this film. Because we're gonna kill him off.
Yeah. You know, and my favorite is little girls just don't connect with Han Solo and Luke Skywalker. Not in the way you think we should, you fucking moron bitch, bra burning hag.
Not like you connect with Ryan Johnson, apparently.
Yeah, well, I mean, what I want to know is, what the hell did Frank Marshall ever see in her? And they're still married.
I don't know. I mean,
probably an open relationship.
Yeah.
Money, I guess. I mean, because he's nowhere, but she's somewhere, you know, and she's generating. So it's got to be money. But what is he giving her?
Yeah.
To keep her interested. What, his name?
Yeah, probably. I don't know, but she doesn't use it.
It's like I said back in the old days when when we were doing the Craig streams regularly. She should have just stayed in a production role, kept her fucking nose out of the public spotlight and her opinions to herself.
Get my fucking coffee, pipe this shit up, go run and grab my damn, my dry cleaner. And when you get back,
and I'll tell you right now, I've heard them say over and over that they're talking about doing something from the old Republic. I don't want them to touch it. I don't want to see Raven, and I don't want to see Bane on screen if it's Disney-fied Star Wars, dude. All they're going to do is ruin them. Bane is a violent Star Wars Sith with an amazing obsolete armor that you can't recognize that it was human at all. He created the rule of two. He killed the love of his life. It's a violent story. You can't Disney-fy this crap.
No, I don't even. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I thought, why are they even thinking about buying it? It doesn't fit. It's like, I really wish J.R.R. Tolkien would have been able to talk to George Lucas, come back like as a Force Ghost and say, there's a reason why I never sold my ideas and my books to Disney. And I'm telling you this right now. It's the same reasons you should. All right? This is why the Lord of the Rings trilogy was actually good. Okay, even The Hobbit to the last part was good.
Even the fucking Matrix.
Yeah. No, but I'm talking about what I'm talking about is people who've created literally universes. J.R.R. Tolkien did not only create Middle Earth and all that, he created a universe. He created a language, Elvish. That's not stupid. You're not stupid to do that. You don't want Walt Disney touching his shit. It's like, no, that's not going to happen. I mean, George Lucas created. Look what he did. This whole religion called the Force, which is nothing but the synthesized religions of what humanity believes right now. And in a language and all this other stuff and races of people, and it's like, you kind of go, don't you wish that somewhere J.R.R. Tolkien would have said, come here, boy, you don't do this. Yeah. Oh man, this whole thing hurts my heart, and I don't want to give Disney any kudos for any of it.
No, I don't know.
You can figure that when Lucas is gone from this earth, it's going to be all out. We'll do whatever the fuck we want with it. Whoever owns it by that time.
Oh yeah,
it'll be good fucking people. But it's like, look, these guys can take notes from certain franchises that are out there that were very successful. Look at the John Wick franchise. They're up to 3. Okay, 4 is coming. And everybody's in anticipation. This thing has made so much money. It's they stay on the story. If they introduce new characters, it's part of the story. It's fucking beautiful. Then you have a series like The Matrix. Then we can keep going with I'm not even gonna say because I'm not gonna say Halloween or anything like that because we already know they fucked up on Halloween 3. So other franchises that I can't even, but there are many out there that have succeeded, and it's all fan service. That's all it really is. You have to stick to what the fans fucking know and what they want. And if you're going to introduce something, you just don't force it down our throats.
If she wants to rub her nipple touch her freaking clit, and kiss her on the back of the neck. That's what you need to do to your woman. So when you're making a fucking movie, what do you need to do? If that son of a bitch expects death, expects this, and expects that, you better put that shit in the fucking movie because that's why they're going to go see it.
Exactly.
Done.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
Yep. And respect what came before it.
That's it.
You know, don't go back and retcon where you can retcon, because there's a rumor going out there, and I think it's true because Morgan, if you're listening, talking about you now, George Lucas made it so they couldn't retcon the OT or the prequels. All right, at all, as long as he was, and it's not until 2024. It's forever. They're not allowed to touch them. So and of course the 25% rule. So what you're seeing with no Luke, Han, or Leia, droids at Galaxy's Edge, and none of the OT stuff, it's because they had to share 25% with him. Okay, they can't retcon the actual movies that he made. These guys, so they're retconning after what happened because they made sure they decanonized the EU. All right, and that's exactly what they did, and now they're paying for it. I mean, you know, I'm sorry. There's lots of parts of the EU, and you guys are going to get mad when I talk about, and I won't say what the parts I don't like. Some of the parts I don't like don't even need to be in it because it doesn't make any sense. However, you could streamline it, and the fans would eventually have been happy, right? But no, what they did was they shit-canned the whole thing, brought in a bunch of ne'er-do-well hack writers, and couldn't fucking do anything with it. You know, I mean, it's just, oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, I just want to ask everybody, man, now let's switch it up. It just hit me right now. Since I was speaking about Halloween, I just want to get into a little something right now. I'm curious. Name your favorite fucking zombie movie of all time.
I don't have one. I really don't. I don't like zombies.
You don't have one?
Resident Evil.
Resident Evil, which one? The first one with Mila Jovovich?
Fucking all of them.
All of them?
Every damn one of them.
They're pretty cool. Maze? Oh, I guess he's busy. Mine's was Day of the Dead. The original Day of the Dead. Steph, you have to see that.
All right, I will. I mean, I've seen, like,
you know what? Shaun of the Dead was actually pretty good, pretty funny too. I did like.
Where did
Shaun
John
of the
go? Where did John go?
Oh, John, he let me
went to the bathroom.
No, no, he said he had to run because his neighbors were acting up again. See, John has a situation with his flag and his neighbors.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that.
Yeah,
Okay,
so-
well, fuck them. No, I mean, I'm more into. When I talk about horror movies, my favorites are either going to be Exorcist, and I've got all of the releases in one Blu-ray pack, which is like fucking awesome.
I can't stand the Exorcist.
I love it. I think it's so creepy, and vampire movies, Dracula, really creepy ones, not Twilight shit, but I mean, you know, the silent Nosferatu, the silent picture Nosferatu.
Yeah.
1925. Holy crap. That is the creepiest movie ever.
Yeah, Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah, that's great. The 1979.
Really great acting in that movie. It really was great acting in that movie.
Oh, but, yeah, well, Gary Oldman was amazing.
I love zombie movies. I mean, every one of the Resident Evil is, I mean, of course, they're all, packed around the video game, but I mean, that's what the virus is from the Umbrella Corporation that turns them into zombies. And I mean, one, you got Mila Jovovich, and she has the virus, but she's the bad bitch that, not only has it, but it makes her fucking badass and stronger. And I love that shit. And plus you get to see, like, she shoots zombies in the head with, like a shotgun with, instead of having shot in it, it's got quarters. So you get to watch quarters go through the motherfuckers' heads. I mean, that shit's
yeah, man. Hell yeah. The
That's funny.
Yeah, the Resident Evil series are fucking awesome. But
yeah, she packed shotgun shells with freaking quarters.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because she was out of
I want to
ammunition.
see if that would actually work.
Well, it's going to propel whatever you put up in there.
I know, but I'm thinking about what it would do to the barrel. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, the barrel is wider than.
I mean, she was like literally like 2 feet away when she'd shoot them. It's not like a distance thing.
Yeah,
I think it's funny. I think it's interesting.
I think I should myth-bust this one. I think I should try this.
If that shit backfires, boom!
I don't think that'd be happening. That's the problem.
What have I got to lose, dude? It's going to come out the barrel one way or the other.
That's true.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I want to waste $4 in quarters.
No, I wouldn't want to either. You have to go look for them. You know, I mean, if you shot it at like a pumpkin, you can maybe find some of them. You know.
Or an ex-wife. Or an ex-wife. I'm sorry, I didn't say that.
But actually, my favorite '80s horror movie was probably the original Fright Night.
Yeah.
The original Fright Night is freaking just what a great.
For Fright Night was a masterpiece. For what it was a masterpiece. That shit was, and you know what's funny? It was one of them, you know, them sneak blockbusters where it's off the radar. All of a sudden it appears and it's like, oh shit, it became a cult classic. Holy crap.
Yeah. I mean, Chris Brandon was perfect in it. I mean, you know, that scene where she's dancing with him and she can't see him in the mirror.
That shit was
like, that was creepy as hell.
Yeah, how about the Igor guy?
When he gets a pencil shoved in his hand,
he
spins around screaming. Oh God! See, I love that because you're looking at you're looking at the vampire for what he is the whole time. You know exactly what he is, and yet you see that idiot, stupid girl getting dragged into it.
Yeah,
and that was interesting to me. That was really interesting to me. It always was because like he's really kind of creepy and gross. You know, he's not alive. He's dead.
Yeah.
Anyway, but it's just great stuff. And
he melted. I like when he melted the cross and shit and his nails. And how about when he was on the side of the house and he was just that shit was creepy. The window and shit. I was like, oh man, this motherfucker's crazy. That was a good. And how about that series called Phantasm? It was with the old man in the mortuary and shit, and he had some ball that would chase you down the hallway, and it would come up and it would hit you in the forehead or something all the time. And he would always say, "Come here, boy." It was called Phantasm.
I remember that. I don't think I ever watched that. I mean, I the first '80s horror movie I ever saw was with. This was the first time I ever got drunk.
Yeah.
14 years old. My friend and I were at her house, and we raided her parents' liquor cabinet, and we were watching Friday the 13th Part 2.
Oh.
And laughed our asses off to the whole goddamn thing. We ended up walking around outside. We just went for a walk, and this cop kind of slows down.
Kylo Ren.
Oh my god. That's awesome.
Saber, what the fuck?
Do you see this shit?
Yeah.
This is leaked art. Look at all the red freaking stormtroopers.
That's crazy.
Is he naked? I can't. I mean,
no, he's not naked. No, he's not naked at all. I'm gonna flip the camera so I can show y'all everything. Look at that.
Oh, that's fan art. That's not real art. Come on, man.
No, none of this shit's gonna be real art.
I mean,
this is just ridiculous.
That's just okay. I've seen that before. Now I get it. Okay. Oh crap! It's just crap. He's just a crappy
look,
character.
I mean, when I clicked on the link, my gaydar went off, and I was like,
Think about who painted it. Think about who's writing this shit. You know,
oh.
we're getting their projection. I just think Adam Driver is just so hot. You know. All right, Maze, come on back in. All right, where did Craig go? All right. Well, actually, I'm gonna go to bed because we have. Hey, Howard. I've got a family reunion tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't want to do this. I really hate these things.
All right. Well,
I hit the wrong button.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right. I'm gonna rock and roll anyway, Craig.
Well, I mean, it's different than Hangouts, and it's different than streaming directly onto Chrome. And the button that I would normally hit on Hangouts ejected my ass like a really good shot of tequila.
Yep. And that's why the StreamYard thing, man. We'll get used to it, guys. But this ends the episode 13 of the return of the Male Toxicity show. Of course, this was freestyle. Next week we'll come back with a more written show for you guys. But this was a little something to let you guys know that we're still here for you. And of course, we'll be returning with everybody's segment with Steph's Ask a Real Lady and Craig's Corner, and of course the Star Wars Dad's Alpha Male product plug.
And
But
Maz's fucking quote of the week.
Yep.
That's right.
And I hopefully will have that tiger beat so we can make fun of all those things that we thought was cool back in the 80s.
Oh yeah.
I ordered that tiger beat.
All right, cool.
Fucking hilarious.
All right, man. Otherwise than that, I'm your boy Jay Cotto, along with the Mazer, Craig 316, Steph, and the Star Wars Dad, man. You guys, thank you for joining us.
Good night, guys.
With you. God bless you. And this ends the show. Male Toxicity Show. Remember, stay alpha. Peace.
All right. Okay, guys. I'm going. So see ya.
All right. See you, Steph.